I am delighted to invite Dr. Prathiba Nagabhushan Garu to deliver her keynote session on social emotional learning, its significance in engineering education.
Good evening, everyone. I'm pleased to see a number of you sitting here. Most of you have seen me delivering engineering education research courses along with Sohani. But today I'm wearing my educational psychologist hat. Talk about social and emotional learning. You have listened to a number of talks, number of keynote addresses, addressing some of the key aspects of engineering education, like artificial intelligence and sustainability and climate change, and how to deal with them, and also artificial intelligence in the field of human identity. I'm going to talk about something very simple and straightforward. It's all going to be about you and me. It's about Homo sapiens. In Latin, it means wise humans. But when I read Eckhart Tolle's book, The Power of Now, he interprets Homo sapiens, the word Homo sapiens, slightly simply and much more clearly. He says that it's a humankind which is capable of thinking. And all this thinking, and especially critical thinking, higher order thinking, whatever the Bloom's taxonomy talks about at the higher end of the triangle, is all about the human existence. We are special. We are very, very special people. And if at all we have to sustain ourselves as human beings, we need the social connectivity and emotional stability. When these two go haywire, we are not humans. Many of us have experienced how our life was during the COVID times, being isolated, socially disconnected. And we all know how our true nature is tarnished when something emotionally upsetting situation arises. We lose our balance. When we lose our balance, we are not humans. Remember that. So when we are talking about social and emotional learning, this is what happens. And how is it connected to engineering education? All of us walk around with a superpower house, holding that on our shoulders. That is that mysterious, miraculous bundle of flesh of the size of your fist, doing wonders. Are we doing justice by using it for the right purposes? We don't know. But in engineering, what is happening is you are coming up with artificial intelligence. We have so many machines which has made our lives so comfortable. Fantastic. We are using that for constructive purposes. But all of these things have happened because we are socially connected and we are emotionally stable in order to achieve these milestones. We are moving forward at every stage of our existence. And if that has to continue, social emotional learning is something that is very essential. So with that introduction, let me move on to why social emotional learning is all the more important in the field of engineering education. There is unparalleled demands in students' lives, leave alone students, even our lives for that matter. And just think of the chores that they have to do. They have to achieve at school, listen to their parents, understand and appreciate others, make the right decisions about social and health practices, resist negative influences, which is very hard, both online and offline, and contribute to their family and community, because we want them to be good citizens of the world and we want them to contribute towards the society. Too much of an expectation from these young minds. So if students are aware of what social emotional learning is all about, that would help them cope with everyday challenges and improves learning and well-being. There are many different skills that are involved when they are exposed to social emotional learning. Nurture a positive sense of self. Of late, I have seen that students are feeling insecure and their self-efficacy is plummeting down. Okay, they don't believe that they can do any work that we ask them to do. Some are overconfident, but unfortunately without a strong foundation. Okay, so it also helps them promote respectful relationship, build capacity to manage emotions, behaviors, and interactions with others. Most important. If you're not able to communicate ourselves clearly, convincingly, and persuasively, then we are not going to be a success. So social emotional learning is developing students' capacity to establish and maintain healthy relationships with their peers, elders, youngsters, the society, the community, and the whole world in general. A journey that a student embarks on towards independently understanding self, showing empathy, very, very important ingredient for being a human being. That is our true nature. We have to be compassionate. And we have to manage our behavior. How many of us have come across stories about anger management issues, throwing temper tantrums at home, in the workplace? All of us face these challenges in our day-to-day lives. So it is not only for students, it is for teachers like you and me. We need to have this social learning, emotional learning knowledge as well. There's a lot of research evidence for social emotional learning. A number of benefits are seen: improved academic performance in students, decrease in depression rates, better stress management among students and also among the staff, and better chance for future success. A number of researchers have come in this area, and all these have been collated by an organization, a nonprofit organization in Chicago, which was started in 1994, called CASO, the Collaborative Academic, Social and Emotional Learning Organization. So, our role as educators, what are we going to do as educators in engineering courses? Know and manage. The students should be enabled to know and manage themselves. And they should understand the perspectives of others, hard to find sometimes, and relate effectively with them, and make sound choices about personal and social decisions. So pretty much, this is what social emotional learning is all about. I'm just giving out this diagram, but there is a lot of information about each of the dimensions that constitute social emotional learning. It's about self-awareness, social awareness, self-management, and relationship skills, and finally, responsible decision-making. How does it enable them to contribute to the community? It starts in the classroom and then goes further to the schools or the departments that they belong to, and then spread over families and caregivers, and finally communities, and in a broader sense, to the world. And on the other hand, how are we going to do that? By inculcating skills related to SEL, the instructions and classroom climate to be created so that everyone is proactive and at the same time respectful of others. And school-wide culture has to be developed, and authentic partnerships, being genuine in whatever they do. And finally, relating that to the outcomes through learning opportunities. So all of these are quite powerful if it is explored through reflection. On the other day, I had a group of students from this conference who attended this workshop. And at the end of it, most of them were almost in tears, because when I asked them to reflect, that is when they had the time to reflect on what they had said, done, or even thought about others. I told them, I gave them in advance, a caution that it is going to be a powerful session for you. Okay, you have to be very honest. and you have to be very sincere in whatever you are reflecting on. And all of it, not many slides, it's only questions, chat time, and discussion time. And I'm going to try the same thing with you all. If you want to explore what it is like to be socially and emotionally educated, then I welcome you to Peter Drucker Hall for the workshop. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for sharing your thought-provoking insights and valuable expertise. It has greatly enriched the session.